So today I packed up my Itaki lunchbox and my food to bring to my parents' house. I've been working on some masks that I've been making. I'm gonna have the clips of that whole process after this, but this is what I gotta work with right now. This is the meatless ground beef, some more onions and cilantro, and I do have sweet potato spirals as well as butternut squash spirals. I'm going to use some more of my taco seasoning, and I'm going to make some rice today. This is not jelly, it's just the container that we had that was on the right size to hold the rice we had left over. The main container is where I'm going to put all of this, and I'm going to put the rice into the smaller one. So I'm going to go ahead and put that all in, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got equal parts rice and water in here. I have my whole packet that I just showed you, and some of the taco seasoning, not all of it. There's still some left in there. I'm going to go and put it on here. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, but I do know those spirals are going to cook down. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of water, one of these cups, and then I'll get started back on this. So this morning I did also try to make some eggs in here. They came out okay. I'll show some clips of that, but they weren't my favorite. For me, it just looked a little funny, so I couldn't eat it. So I probably won't do an omelet or scrambled eggs in here, but here are the clips. And this is what my lunch looks like. And here are some clips of me making my masks. First I have to go ahead and draw out the pattern on the fabric that I'm going to use. So when I'm making my masks, I use 2 different color fabrics, one for the inside and one for the outside. That way it's easy to see which way the mask is supposed to go. But I thought it would also be a good idea to be able to use my snowflake side for January and use the red side for February, just because it would go more with the holiday seasons. So after cutting out all my fabric, what I do next is pin the right sides of the fabric facing each other and get ready to go ahead and sew them together. So after sewing both sides of the inner liner and the outer liner together, I go ahead and I pin them right sides facing each other and sew them.
after I finish sewing the sides together, I flip it back right side in and tuck the remaining edges together, and I'm only sewing in the center. That way I have an edge to be able to go ahead and stick my elastic through and be able to tie it together.
So I've actually made this kind of mask before. This is one that I have been wearing, but I usually put bias tape as ties so I could have it as tight as I want without it pulling on my ears. Hope you could hear that. I try not to have it pull on my ears, but I was able to finally get a hold of some soft elastic, so I decided I was going to go ahead and do my usual mask with the elastic. The first time I made it with the elastic, I did it too short because I just went ahead and did a smaller loop and I sewed the corners into it. So this time I decided to do it longer, and I figured whoever's going to use it, this one's mine, I'll put it on, can adjust the size they want, cut off the extra, and then I'm gonna leave the corners open a little bit so they can pull it around and tuck their knot in so it's not visible. But this is what mine looks like. I could probably go a little tighter on these, but this is actually pretty good space. I may need to, depending on who's going to be wearing it, I may need to put in a little stitch here so that way it's a little bit more fitted and closed. I don't have any of the little nose bracket pieces, I don't know what they're called, but that part that lets it bend or contour to your nose, I don't have any of that. I have used pipe cleaner before, but the only pipe cleaners I have right now are red or black, and I'm pretty sure if we wash them that it's going to bleed right through this pretty white fabric. This one was also only 2 layers. I usually do 3 so it has a little pocket to put a filter in. That's what this one is, but I figured if we wanted extra layer or more safety, we could always put on one of our disposable masks under it. That way when we are walking around outside, they're a little bit more breathable, but definitely inside I have been putting in an extra layer or using one that has a filter pocket, so that way I can be safer when in indoor space. But I decided to go ahead and throw this in there to show some of the projects that I work on when I'm not in the classroom.